Hello everyone and welcome to FCA Friday. Today we're going to talk about bar etiquette. So if it's your first time or you're going to be going to a bar or anything like that and you don't know what to expect, you don't know how to react to certain things, you want to try to stay out of trouble and avoid getting called inappropriate names, it's hard in a bar club setting, but here is the best way to do that. First of all, if you're a person looking for other people at a bar, like you're a single person going to a bar to pick up another single person, the first thing is to scan for the single people. Single people tend to they sit by themselves. Even if they're with a group of people, they're going to be off to the side. They're not going to be right in the middle of the group. And you can tell that this person, usually if it's a girl, if she's out looking, it depends on the girl. There's different kinds of girls. Some single girls are going to be the approachers. They usually are scantily clad and already have a drink in their hand and are going to want to dance with you or on you. So if that makes you uncomfortable, those are the approaching women for the most part. Am I going to be generalizing in this video? Am I going to be putting, it's going to offend some people, but there's reality in how things work. And if you can't get that through your brain because you're stuck in your own little head, don't go out. There you go. Avoid humans altogether and you won't have any expectations put on you ever again. And you won't have any ruined expectations. There's that. The other ones are the people who are, they're there maybe to get somebody, but they're really not actively going out of their way for it. These are the people who have a drink. They usually look bored, messing with their phone, looking around. Sometimes these women come as a group of two. Now, if there's a group of two, how do you know when to approach and when not to approach? You do not approach if two people are having an intense conversation. So there's two ladies sitting at the bar. If they're having a conversation, if two people are looking at each other, they're really engaged in each other's conversations, there's constant chatter back and forth, don't break that wall. It's going to be rude and they're just going to be dismissive. They're going to be like, hey, no, we don't. We're talking here. Yeah, we're conversing. We don't have any interest in the other parts of the bar at this moment. Thanks. Now, depending on how rude you were, if you come up to them and you're like, ladies, they will probably go, oh, sorry, we're not going to chat with you right now. We're having a conversation. We don't know you, kind of thing. Now, if you become aggressive and start calling them names and stuff back, you're going to get the F off, your whatever expletive name coming out. If, however, you go, oh, all right, didn't mean to do anything, and you just back off, that will allow you an in because you're not going to be seen as that expletive. They're going to be like, okay, he respected our boundaries. He approached. It was a bad time to approach, but he backed off, apologized. That way when one of them is alone or when they stop talking or whatever, then when you come back in, you can be like, hey, is now a better time? Still interested? Then they're going to be, depending on whatever they talked about or whatnot, they're at least going to be more receptive to your coming back in. So two people talking, this goes for any gender. Don't interrupt those two people having an intense conversation. Next, one way that will really set you off at the bar that will make people go, oh, that person is a douche, is if you are being rude to the staff. So to the waitresses, if you're smacking somebody's butt, that's just, don't touch people who didn't ask for it. That's general things. And if you're like yelling, snapping your fingers, whistling, or, saying something rude to the bartender or bartenders, everyone's going to think, wow, you're a jerk. Can't you see that person is working? And the bartender's just going to ignore you. because they know what they're doing. They have an order, they got it down. So if you're over there being rude and trying to get their attention and just waving money doesn't help your situation either. When you're at the bar, come to the bar. Some bars have like the double bar thing at the counter, and you can stand there. That's a good indication that you're waiting for a drink. Or just be at the bar and just wait. Have your drink pushed up, the empty glass pushed up to the edge of the bar. That way the bartender, when they're scanning, they can see who's in need of a drink, because that's what they're looking for. So be patient, don't yell at them, because otherwise every girl and guy in there is going to go, do not want that person. That's how they treat the person making your drinks. That's definitely not a person I want to spend more time with. Next, you want to respect boundaries. So if you're a girl or a guy, you don't want to come booty rubbing up on every person you see, because bars and clubs are pretty tight places. There's not usually a lot of space in them, so everyone's seeing you do that. So it's showing that you're not looking to give anyone attention, you're looking to get any attention, which is really a big kind of thing. Now, how to avoid when you're the receiver, that's a lot of approaching stuff. Now, if you're the receiver of this attention, how to avoid a bad situation there. First of all, if you're sitting at the bar by yourself and you are not interested in anyone, you're not looking at anyone, don't spin your chair or your stool to face away from the bar counter, because that means that you are looking for interaction. If you think, I'm just seeing what's going on, or I'm trying to watch a game, if you're trying to watch something on one of the TVs, sit as close as you can to the TVs and directly pay attention to that instead of having yourself open to the rest of the area. And most of the time, if you turn around, you have your back to everybody, your back away, you clearly don't want any attention. If somebody approaches you, and so if you're new to the bar, if somebody approaches you, another dude or another girl, and they're like, hey, can I buy you a drink? Or hey, I was looking at you, looks like you could use another drink, I can get it for you. Or something like that. Now, at this point, you have a decision to make. If you do not want interaction, all right, if you do not want expectations put on you, and if you're a person who, again, if you're sitting there going, well, there shouldn't be an expectation. Just because you buy me a drink doesn't mean that, I owe you anything. You're right. You don't owe anybody anything. But when you accept a drink, you accept the attention that comes with that. A sort of social contract, verbal, mental contract has taken place. They bought you a drink, they at least think you owe them time to talk to them because they did just spend money on you. No, that doesn't mean that you owe them, dates, numbers, or sex, but just know that they have that expectation in mind, and that you're more likely going to get called names because, oh, I see what kind of girl you are, or what kind of guy you are. You'll take my money and take my drinks, but you won't talk to me. What a blah, 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 blah. Now, the best way to avoid that situation is to refuse drinks. If you refuse a drink, and if you're over there going, why would I refuse free alcohol? Because you're also getting a slew of attention that you don't want. And that is showing that you're interested. Even if you don't mean for it to, that is what that means. Somebody comes up to you and they're like, hey, I want to buy you a drink. And you're like, oh, all right. Or, oh, yeah, sure. Even if it's casually, yeah, sure. That's an in. That's a foot in the door to that approaching individual. If you don't want that, just shut it down at the source. You don't want a drink, you're not interested in anything else, and that person will usually go away. It'll go away after the second time because they'll ask again. It'll be like, hey, can I buy you a drink? No thanks, I'm not interested, or I don't think I'll be here long. Whatever excuse you want to give. But they're going to be like, are you sure? Because, I got you. It's not a big deal. Something like that. Just, you can be like, no, I'm really good. Thanks, though. I appreciate the sentiment, but no thanks. And the person be like, all right. you had your chance, something like that, they'll walk away and they'll go to somebody who's going to accept their drink because they want somebody who's going to accept their attention. So by shutting that down at the source, you've avoided all of that negative attention. This goes for any gender, of course. Now, everyone likes the idea of getting more alcohol for less money, but it's going to put you in an awkward situation because not everyone is going to be polite. Sometimes they're going to go, "What you drinking? I'll get you another one." Now, the exception to this rule is if somebody buys a round for the bar or a round for the group, then it's okay to accept the drink because you're not being singled out. This person is just being a big spender. They're trying, maybe they're trying to impress somebody there. It might be you, it might not. You're not being singled out. There's a group effort. So that's a little different. To avoid other negative confrontations, make sure that you have your friend, have people on standby. Even if they physically can't be there, have them on your phone and just have a code text ready for them. If I send the letter E twice or something like that, call me so that I can get away from the douchebag or whatever. Always have an out, always have an alternative ride home other than yourself, and try to go as a group if you want to avoid negative attention, because breaking the circle is really hard. That's typically what girls do. Now, if there's two of you and you're kind of sitting there not really doing anything, and you're just kind of, I don't know, and you're approached, this is a tricky situation because it's either one person, the main guy, he's doing it wrong. He's the main guy going for his target, trying to talk to both of you at once. That's a really bad strategy on both points. If you're the guy approaching, you should have a wingman, because what should happen is the first guy is the wingman. He's the one going, "Ladies, what are you drinking? Can I get you guys another drink?" And if you guys are bored, you're just sitting there, you're going to be like, "Oh, hi, somebody to talk to who's not each other, and yeah, we'll take the drink." He is going to stand next to, lean by, or generally be around the non-target. I'm not saying the ugly friend, because two people can be attractive and be next to each other. But the one who's not the target of the main guy, the wing guy is going to give that person just a little more attention. And after a couple minutes, the main guy who has the target, the wingman, he's chatted with you guys, he's loosened you up, he's gotten to know you, gotten you some drinks. He's gonna go, "Oh, there's my buddy so-and-so. Yo, so-and-so, come here. Let me introduce you to da-da-da-da, and this is her friend da-do-da-do." And then those two are gonna hit it off. Now, wingman's job is to get the other girl to turn her chair or say, "Hey, I want to go check out this song," or "You want to go look at this thing with me." He's going to pull it away to leave those two alone. Oh, there are children here. To leave those two alone so main guy can try and get with target. And the same thing happens with, put a female in there. It can be all female group, it can be all males, male approaching a male. Just, inverse whatever your situation is. Two people, wing person, main guy, target. And when you have wingmen, their job is to either get this person alone, separate them from their group, or pull a couple of them away, and it's trying to get that man to his target and get them some alone time. Obviously, as I said, the best way is just say, "No, I don't want any attention." Try and say it a little louder. If somebody's making you uncomfortable, say it loud, which might embarrass you. It's going to give you attention, but everyone's going to be aware that this person is making this person uncomfortable. So they'll be able to watch out for you. Because bar people are pretty chill people, especially regulars. If they see that something is uncomfortable going to happen, they won't mind. Or the bartender especially, the bartender will pay attention. Okay, this person is bothering this person. I can say, the bartender controls the bar. So so they can give you a hand when necessary. So those are just some engagement rules I thought I would share with you, because there's newbies at the bar who don't know how things work, and we're trying to avoid getting called expletives both on the receiving and approaching end of attention at a bar. Those are some of my tips, and I will see you for Makeup Monday. Bye-bye.